Welcome to Yoga for Golfers. I'm Dr. Joe, and today's session is all about movement control. We're going to start with setup position. For me, it's like I'm about to hit a 7-iron right that way. I'm going to drop my arms down in front, and I'm going to bring one open and do the biggest shoulder turn I possibly can, leaving the other arm down. And I'm going to go the other direction. And like to add a little bit of pace here. Again, we're about fluidity and control in this session. Now, you may not necessarily take this big of a backswing or have this high of hands, and that's okay. Having the mobility to do it can be useful either way. Now, I want you to keep going. After I finish this rep, I'm going to turn sideways. What I want to show you is the position my spine stays in. Because even though I'm taking this big shoulder turn, my spine's going to still stay relatively at the same angle. I'm not going to drop down here. I'm not going to come up like this. I'm going to keep a nice level shoulder plane and open up. Okay, our next position, called a bow and arrow. And what we do here is we drop into a split squat, put a little bend in that front knee. It's going to put some effort into the quad here. Again, we're emphasizing control, so we're going to have a lot of static holds. Arms forward. What I want you to do, draw it back like you're pulling open a bow and arrow, and then come around. Draw back, and come around. What you see is I draw back, I'm shifting that weight onto my back foot, spinning on my heel, and then coming around. Try and keep a nice steady breath. You want to make sure you're not holding it, not panting. It shouldn't be that much effort. We want smooth control. And place our feet toward the camera. Go the other direction. Hands in the same position. Pull the arrow back. Spin the foot. And then wrap around. Pull it back. Wrap around. Pull it back. Wrap around. What's important here is that you keep that front arm facing directly forward. That's a coordination thing, but it also makes sure you're focusing the mobility and control in the areas you should. Nice steady controlled breath. And last one. Great. Okay. That was a combination movement. Now we're going to put a little bit more effort into the legs. We'll go into a split squat. I want you to drop down. We're just going to pulse. And pulse. Now, if this movement gets too difficult for you, take a break and you can keep going. Otherwise, we want to let this go. 20, maybe 30 seconds. Start to feel a little bit of burn in this quad. Maybe some effort, stretch in the back leg. And then we'll rest. We'll turn, face the other direction. Same position, and pulse. Nice controlled breath. Again, we're going to try it for 20 or 30 seconds. You're going to start to feel a little bit of burn in the quad. Try not to put your hands on your knee to support your weight. You want your body to do all the work. So again, emphasize movement control. Now we'll come back up. We're going to face the camera. And now we're going to come to some isolated movements. What I mean by that is you want to be able to move part of your body without moving another. So on the golf swing, you get a little bit of trunk movement, even though your hips stay nice and still. So I'm going to rotate back and forth. Take a look at my hips. They're not moving at all. Just my upper back and my shoulders. Nice controlled breath. About another 10 seconds here. Great, come up. Check it out if you want. Otherwise, we're going to go right to the next one. This time we're going to keep the shoulders still, and we're going to move the hips. Again, notice my shoulders aren't going anywhere at all. It's my hips moving. And you can definitely see where this plays into the golf swing. Anytime you take that powerful downswing, you want to be able to start with your hips first to generate power. Get a stretch across the midsection. So that for another 10 seconds or so. And then comes for the hard part. So go ahead and stand up, breathe for a moment. Now we want to look at putting both of those movements together, but still only moving them one at a time. Set up posture again. We're going to go shoulder turn, hips are staying still. Hip turn, and then here's the hard part. Hip turn back the other way, then you can bring your shoulders to match. So it ends up being shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders, shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders, shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders. And you can do that whatever speed you want. So I want you to keep going. Emphasize slow control if you're having some trouble. If you're getting good at it, or you've seen this video several times, start trying to speed it up. So you notice here, I'm going with some good speed, but I'm still very much isolating those movements. All right, now we're going to go to the other side. Let's start slow, shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders, shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders. Great. Now let's pick up a little bit of speed. Shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders, shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders, shoulders, hips, hips, shoulders. Hope you guys are doing all right. Again, if this is tough for you, don't get too upset about it. I've had a lot of practice. Watch more of the videos, practice this movement in some downtime. It'll get easier, I can promise you that. You're also going to see some benefits in your golf swing. Again, you see that big backswing here, and then those hips actually start the other way before you catch up with the shoulder turn. All right, that's it for our Yoga for Control session today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for the next one.